A 53-year-old male was convicted of federal program bribery, bribery by a federal officer, distribution of heroin, and 6 counts of false statements. So he was actually convicted of these actual charges, and the bribery will carry a 15-year minimum, and the other for the heroin would be a 20-year in prison, and 5 years for the false statements. He's got 6 of them. So uh, this actual individual is going to be looking at some time, or is he? We'll soon find out, because his court is going to be coming up here pretty soon, probably in October. And how he came to light, well, they don't say, but what I can only actually comes to mind, and you kind of don't want to, see it in front of your face when you're actually working with such individuals. But um, he was a former police detective, and then actually, I guess, got promoted to work along with the FBI task force officer. So, what basically, now that the FBI is actually intertwined with the actual community, they will recruit certain uh, high-ranking, or depends on your actual performance, and you get approached and you'll get asked to actually join their actual task force, which will be the FBI. You know what I mean? And to fight the heroin epidemic that's out there, and the fentanyl. So that's what they're actually most focused on, and to make neighborhoods much safer. So this actual detective, he was unique. You know what I mean? And when it comes down to stuff like this, we all have mothers, we all have sisters, we all have nieces, we all have cousins, relatives, good friends, whatever. And these females can be put in a very vulnerable situation, and they could be asked for some pretty disgusting things. And we actually had a patrol officer here in San Diego where he was actually tasked with working the downtown area, but as soon as the actual clubs were let out, and he was actually on the DUI detail, and when he came across females, he asked for sexual flavors, and he would actually let them go. And he was convicted of that. So this actual officer, though, what he did, though, since he was actually a detective, and most likely the vice squad, where they would actually convict or testify against actual dope charges or prostitution charges. So he asked for specific favors from females, and one of them actually being a a no-show for him to go to court for this particular female if she slept with him. So apparently he didn't show up. So I think that he ended up sleeping with this actual female. So the case was actually dismissed because he didn't show up. And the other one, the other female, is was actually reduced with charges for the fact that she slept with him too, and he helped her out with uh, the actual evidence against her. And that's just 2 actual females that actually came forward, and they're not going to dig any deeper for the fact that, once again, they don't want to bring up old actual arrests and convictions through this individual, so therefore they don't have to actually go through the whole appeal process for all his convictions. But if I was actually one of them particular arrests, I'd be getting myself a lawyer and having it fought, because most likely they're not going to fight it against you, and they will actually take care of erasing that from your criminal record, or actually get you out of jail if you're doing prison time on that. And that's basically what this guy was doing. He was sleeping around with girls, and then to turn around and sell the heroin that he was actually seizing, or through seizures. He was actually pinching it and then selling it on the back end. And and for him to actually pass the FBI screening, because just because he's a detective doesn't mean that he gets an automatic promotion to work alongside with the FBI. Now you still got to go through a renewal, a complete background check. You still have to actually interview for that. And if they would have actually conducted a lie detector test on this individual, he wouldn't have not passed. Now he had so much shady stuff in his past that there's no way he would have passed a background check, you know. And people always say, that people join the CIA. He's a CIA. To be a CIA is very, very tough. And one of the requirements is actually passing a polygraph test. And people say, well, they like people that are kind of shady. No, they don't. No, they don't. They want clean backgrounds and honesty. Therefore, they can program you. And they don't want nobody with bad habits, bad actual morals coming in. Specifically, there was one detective. He actually was shady too. Not this one though, but he actually framed an old lady, the mother of a convicted murderer. He framed the old lady by lifting some prints off of something she touched and actually put it on the gas tank that was used to burn the actual murder scene down. And he planted her prints on that tank, on the actual gas tank. And when the CIA came knocking to actually interview this guy to be a member of the CIA, he was honest. He had to be honest, so he threw in his shady stuff, and he admitted to that he lifted the lady's prints and put it on the trash can, on the gas tank himself. Therefore, she was arrested, and the CIA turned in that report to his actual police station that he was working for, and he did get arrested, and he's still doing time for that. So, so you just gotta be careful, and obviously they didn't conduct a drug screening or an actual lie detector test on this individual, and that's how he was able to actually slip through the cracks, But that's a lot of convictions that he had under his belt, and one could only imagine what other stuff that he did that wasn't even brought to light, And most likely a female got into a bigger jam, got into a bigger problem that she was actually facing a lot of years, and used it, broke out that card, get out of jail card, and most likely it worked, Okay, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks.